So after yesterday's video, folks in Alabama are mad at me. We're going to deal with that and more coming up. Hey guys, as always, a big good juju and a shazam to each of y'all. Got a little fun for you today, plus a 5-pack for you. I think today's going to be more about thinking, and I'm going to have a lot of resources for you to check out. And if one of these interests you, spend about 10 minutes, jump over, check them out, learn a little bit. I think by the end of today, it might make you think a little bit. I had fun getting these together for you, and I hope you enjoy it as well. So buckle up, here we go. Today's fun is brought to you by my friends over at TacPack. A great box is coming and it's dropping in March, but you gotta get it ordered while it's still February. TacPack brings awesome stuff to your door every month. Down below is a link as well as a coupon code for a free grab bag, but get signed up while it is still February. TikTok, y'all. I'm also giving a TacPack away tomorrow on Spicy Friday. So a big thank you to those folks. And a thank you to you people for every thumbs up. Y'all crush it as always. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. If you hear the roar, I'm not sure because I haven't listened to this audio because that's how recording works. It is nasty here in the southeast, raining cats and dogs, and I was going to wait and film after it's slacked up, but that'll be in about 4 more days. I might float away between now and then. Speaking of the southeast, after yesterday's video, folks in Alabama, the 17 that have electricity and Wi-Fi, were mad at me for some comments that I made. Allow me to give those 17 viewers a disingenuous apology. I am truly and deeply sorry. I do hope you can console yourself with the fact that you're not Mississippi. Moving on to the next 5 things that I got for you. All right, got 5 for you. That's fun. Love y'all in Alabama. Joe Rogan had a really interesting interview with Lex Fridman, and it's just a 2-minute conversation. It's incomplete. It's narrow. Don't take it too far. He talks about the two-way, but it's straight fire and it's good, but don't get too distracted because he only deals with the two-way from a little tiny box of self-defense. Yes, I know it's about tyranny. I get it. But it's interesting. Love him or hate him, he has an audience twice the size of the entire coverage of the recent Olympic Games. If you missed it, there were some Olympic Games. 17 people watched that as well. So I want to challenge you, or at least give you the opportunity, chase that a little bit. Listen for 2 minutes. Lex Fridman jumps in, and if you don't know him, he's an MIT professor. He's a computer scientist and an artificial intelligence researcher. Really bright dude. He's a Russian American. Now, Joe Rogan goes into specifically about self-defense, but then Lex Fridman has I guess we should say Dr. Fridman has an interesting point. He feels, because he is not a proponent of anything that we're about in freedom. He feels like if he carries, that he is putting himself at a higher risk statistically of being injured and or injuring someone else. Really interesting conversation. Again, it's narrow. It's not the whole story. Wanted to just point you towards that, and you can chase it if you want to. Up next, National Review says this. They have a really interesting article that came out yesterday on Wednesday afternoon at 2-something. Now, y'all know what happened in Eastern Europe overnight, but National Review has an interesting article entitled, "Next Time, Bear Arms Earlier." You can read it. I'm not going to go through it for you, but I thought that was interesting timing, especially what happened overnight. National Review. Up next, USA Today has an article, and this is when I start waving my arms. I'm always saying control and the elimination of your rights is never going to be straightforward. Yeah, sometimes, but generally they are coming around in every different way they can find, like changing magazine capacities, changing taxes on things like powder and brass and copper and lead and all those sorts of things. That's coming. All that stuff is coming. California has rules right now that they are looking at where they are going to say the technology has to be able to do this. Every freedom seed that goes out has to have a unique identification on it that can be traced back to the owner. That technology doesn't exist, but they're going to want to pass that legislation. So they're always trying to do an end around to come around. And here's where I'm at with that. USA says this, that the lawsuits that are currently going on, like that Remington situation, yes, I get it, I know, it's bad, could change America's relationship with the Second Amendment. And I think that's really interesting, changing our relationship. Links below, check it out. And finally, there's an interesting article that came out, and it's just highlighting some research that was recently done. Now, the research was done in a peer-reviewed article or peer-reviewed journal. But the highlight of it says that recent states, and this is all real research, this is not opinion, but the states that have recently enacted stand your ground laws, the homicide rates have gone up considerably, 8 to 11%, and that's a pretty big jump. Now, the commenter that is talking about the research is a moron. She immediately goes to Europe to compare us to that, and the whole thing. And of course, they do the whole Trayvon comment in there as well. I'll put an article or a link down there to the article if you want to check it out. I do want to say this as you peruse, and I do hope that you all are informed viewers, and as you parse information out there, remember, self-defense is considered a homicide. Yes, I know, it's not about you and our opinion, I get it, but statistically it always goes into the homicide category. And what's interesting for me is the responses to that 8 to 11% jump. Some people are like, oh God, we're turning into the Wild West. And the other people are like, yeah, that's how the stand your ground is supposed to work. That means a whole lot of bad guys, maybe a few bad girls, yeah, are no longer breathing air. So interesting. There's a 5-pack for you today. What do you think? Leave me a comment right down below to anyone that's against us or our rights to defend ourselves. Yep. From my cold dead hands, I'll see y'all tomorrow on Spicy Friday.